There is a reason your body feels like it's humming with invisible electricity, why your emotions have been flooding you without warning, why even your dreams have grown sharper, stranger, more alive. It is not random. It is not just stress. It is the first stirring of a power you have carried for lifetimes. A force ancient texts call the Serpent of Light, Kundalini. Lately, your own body may feel unfamiliar, like a language you used to speak fluently but can no longer predict. One moment, you're restless, vibrating as if you've had too much coffee. The next, you're exhausted, pulled down into the gravity of sleep. You might feel heat rising in your spine, a pulsing at the base of your skull, or tingling in your hands and feet, as if the air itself is alive and trying to speak through you. Your heart races for no clear reason. Your skin flushes without cause. Even your breath seems to have its own rhythm, sometimes deep and expansive, sometimes shallow and quick. Your mind is shifting too. Memories you haven't thought about in years float up without warning, not to haunt you, but to show you the patterns you've been living inside. Your dreams dissolve the boundary between waking and sleeping. Colors look brighter, music feels deeper, even silence seems to hold a message. And perhaps you've noticed a strange sense of being watched by your own soul, like there's another part of you observing everything you think, feel, and do, not judging, simply waiting, measuring, preparing. What you are feeling is not chaos. It is a signal. The sleeping power within you is rolling in its slumber, and it is beginning to wake. Kundalini is not a concept invented by modern spirituality. It is a current of living light that every ancient mystery school knew. In Vedic traditions, it is described as a coiled serpent resting at the base of the spine, wrapped 3.5 times around the root of your being. In Egypt, it was the uraeus, the serpent crown that only awakened pharaohs could wear, a symbol of consciousness so expanded that it could see in all directions. In the temples of Greece, it was hidden in the staff of Asclepius, the serpent winding upward along the spine toward the light of the mind. This serpent is not a literal animal. It is your life force in its most concentrated form, dormant, yet infinite. It sleeps at the root because this is where your survival is anchored, and until you are ready, it will not move. But when the conditions are right, when the soul has chosen this lifetime to rise, the serpent begins to uncoil. When Kundalini begins to stir, the world inside you and the world outside you both shift. It can feel like pressure building in your lower spine, or like liquid fire slowly moving upward through your back. Sometimes it arrives gently, a slow, graceful unfolding over years. Sometimes it ignites like lightning, cracking you open overnight, and pouring a river of light through your entire being. As it rises, Kundalini travels through the chakras, those subtle energy centers that bridge the body and the spirit. It awakens them one by one, pulling up the shadows and the gifts locked inside each. In the root, it shakes loose fear and scarcity. In the sacral, it floods the senses with desire, creativity, and raw life force. In the solar plexus, it burns away doubt and replaces it with a solar will. At the heart, it cracks open the dam, holding back love, and the flood can be overwhelming. You might weep for hours without knowing why, or laugh until your ribs ache at the beauty of simply existing. This is why Kundalini awakening can feel so disorienting, because it is not just energy moving. It is every unprocessed emotion, every blocked memory, every fragment of yourself you abandoned, now demanding to be met, embraced, and integrated. It is the soul saying, "No more hiding. You are ready to burn away the false self and stand in the fullness of what you truly are." Kundalini is a sacred fire. Like any fire, It can warm you into awakening, or it can scorch if you move too fast without grounding. It is not here to be controlled or dominated. It is here to be befriended, honored, and understood. If your body is humming, if your spine feels alive, you must remember, you are the temple through which this river of light flows. The temple must be strong. The temple must be steady. This means anchoring your energy into the earth, not just with thought, but with touch. Walk barefoot on soil, on stone, on sand, and feel the weight of your body pressing into the planet. With every step, imagine roots of light descending from your feet, sinking deep into the dark, rich soil of the earth's womb. Let her hold you. Let her remind you that even lightning must find the ground before it can complete its circuit. Breathe deeply into your belly, not forcing the breath, but letting it fall like water down a mountain stream. Feel your ribs expand, your chest soften, your shoulders relax with each exhale. Your breath is the oldest bridge between body and spirit, and it knows the way home. Feed the body that carries this awakening. Eat grounding foods, roots, grains, nourishing stews, warm herbal teas. These are not just nutrients. They are instructions to your body. You are safe here. You can stay. Do not force the serpent to rise with aggressive techniques, with impatient will, or with the hunger to arrive at some imagined spiritual destination. This is not a race to the crown chakra. It is a courtship between your human self and your divine self. And like any sacred union, it moves in rhythms of approach and retreat, of intensity and stillness. Move gently. Listen to your body's subtle yes and subtle no. Let the serpent choose its own pace. If the emotions feel too intense, if you find yourself swinging between bliss and fear, between expansion and collapse, remember that this is your nervous system, learning to carry a higher current of light than it has ever known. This is not failure. It is adaptation. Seek stillness when your mind races. Sit beneath trees whose roots are older than your bloodline. Let the wind move through you. Seek silence when the inner noise becomes overwhelming. Notice how silence is not empty. It is full of presence, full of guidance waiting for you to become quiet enough to hear it. Seek water. Submerge yourself in baths, rivers, lakes, or the sea. Feel the cool embrace wash over the fire in your spine, teaching it how to flow without resistance. Water remembers. It remembers the shape of every soul it has touched. It knows how to carry energy without clinging to it. Above all, honor the process. Kundalini awakening is not an achievement to display. It is a homecoming, a return to the original blueprint of who you are, before the world told you to forget. It is not about becoming someone new. It is about remembering the one who has been here all along, patiently waiting in the quiet depths of your being. There will be days when you feel like you are ascending into a sky made of light. There will be days when you feel like you are sinking into the darkest soil. Both are part of the same path. Both are sacred, because the serpent does not only climb, sometimes it coils back upon itself, integrating what has already been awakened, making sure your roots are deep enough to support the height you are destined to reach. When you trust this rhythm, the awakening becomes not a battle, but a dance. What you are feeling is not an accident. You are not falling apart. You are becoming what you have always been, and the serpent within you is only just beginning to rise. If this message awakens something ancient in your soul, subscribe, because what comes next will take you even deeper into the mystery. The fire in your spine is not here to destroy you. It is here to burn away everything you are not. Do not fear it. Breathe into it and watch as the world within you is reborn.